Hello and welcome to W Rated, the show where we willingly watch the world's worst rated movies. Today you've joined us on another Road to Razzies episode, which for anyone that doesn't know is our annual season of episodes looking at the nominations for the controversial Golden Raspberry Awards. This season they're awarding the worst of 2025. So for any new listeners, I'm Daisy, and as always, I'm joined by podcast co-creator, host, and editor Claire. Claire, would you like to tell us what categories we'll be talking about in this episode?
Yes, so we're looking at our worst supporting of the year, so our worst supporting actors and actresses. So I'll give a brief rundown of these nominations. For worst supporting actor, we have all 7 artificial dwarfs for Snow White, which also picked up 5 other nominations. We have Nicolas Cage in Gunslingers as Ben, which has another nomination coming very shortly. We have Stephen Dorff in Bridehard as Kurt, which picked up 2 nominations, one for Rebel Wilson, which we covered in our Worst Actress convo, and another nom coming very shortly. We have Greg Kinnear in Off the Grid as Ranish, and we have Sylvester Stallone in Alarum as Chester, which we briefly covered because it picked up 2 other acting noms, one for Worst Actor, and we're moving into the other nominations shortly. So, for our worst supporting actress, this is getting very messy. We have Anna Chlumsky in Bridehard as Virginia. So that is 3 total acting nominations for Bridehard. We have Emma Horvath for The Strangers Chapter 2 as Shelley/Pinup Girl. We have Casey Roll in Star Trek Section 31 as Rachel Garrett, which picked up 4 other nominations, including an acting, and has its own episode. Mm-hmm. We are back with Gunslingers with Scarlett Rose Stallone as Bella. So that's picked up 2 supporting acting and actressing. 2 supporting acting noms, and she gets to share the stage with her father.
Yeah, that's Stallone.
That's Stallone.
You are correct.
And then sharing the screen with him, though she didn't, is Isis Valverde in Alarum as Brigitte. Messy, because we're at the end.
We're picking up all the scraps now.
Yeah, those be the films.
Yeah, so we've touched on a few, we've covered some of them. So Snow White we've done a dedicated episode for. Star Trek Section 31. I feel like you
always have a problem with that one.
I don't know why. I think it's because I read Section 31 first, so I want to just call it that.
That's same, yeah.
Yeah, Star Trek Section 31. See, I did it again. We've done a dedicated episode for, and as Claire mentioned, we've touched on Bridehard, Alarum,
and that's it.
And that's it on the previous nominations. So we may have sprinkled a little bit of pre-thoughts on some of these nominations in our previous worst supporting actor and actress episode. But we've got some new stuff here to cover. What I will say is, when you kicked off all 7 artificial dwarfs in worst supporting actor, is also a nomination for worst screen combo, which we're used to seeing kind of, obviously, like Ice Cube has got a combo, Weeknd's got a combo as well. I just find it really weird that it's not like the combo is already a combo in the... Yeah. You've already nominated it as a combo in the supporting actor, and also you've made it clear that they're artificial dwarves in supporting actor rather than having the little quip joke in the combo one. It seems weird.
They just wanted to get another dig in.
I know, but it's just weird, like... Very good. It's just weird that they've called it all 7 artificial dwarves in the worst supporting actor category and not added the artificial adjective in the screen combo to make that slightly different. Anyway, that's just a bugbear of mine when it's not consistent. So we've already covered that in the episode, so we won't go into that one too much. But shall we kick off with... Why don't we kick off with Alarum and Bridehard, considering
finish those off.
And I think one of them will lead quite nicely into one of the other ones as well, considering Stephen Dorff is actually in Gunslingers too. But for Alarum, we've got worst supporting actor with Sylvester Stallone and worst supporting actress with Isis Valverde. So what do we think about these nominations?
Isis Valverde had, did I write it down? 4 minutes of screen time. The fuck are we doing here?
Yeah. sometimes this just does feel a bit sexist.
Like, I'm not even sure if she had 4 minutes of screen time. I think she had 4 lines of dialogue, one of
Mhm,
which was in a foreign language, and she sounded beautiful.
mhm,
I don't understand what this nomination was for. She didn't have time to do anything good or bad. She just existed. What was
mhm.
she meant to do with that time? She's just there to be killed off. I don't get why we're here.
I think I don't really remember, to be honest with you, because I watched Alarum quite a while ago now. But I think she's a very beautiful woman. I think she had a bit of a commanding kind of voice and presence in the time that she had. So it just screams sexism to me, to be honest with you.
Just, it won't be the first
Like,
time I say it makes no sense.
she's annoying, she's like too much for this little bit part. I want to see men with their guns. That's the vibe that I got from this nomination.
So stupid. Just so stupid, so unnecessary. Yeah,
Because I
I've
think,
nothing.
like, if I remember rightly, that the main part is when, so the character that she plays is, there's another
She's
couple.
a couple, they meet, and she just
Yeah.
goes on the trip with him. And
Yeah,
then
it's all a
helps
bit of a
him.
setup though,
Yeah,
by his
the wife.
Willa Fitzgerald's
Yeah.
character, because she's on a job there, but she doesn't tell him at first. She's on an Alarum job. They're both kind of, he's an ex-agent, she's still working with Alarum. And they meet this couple and they do like their fake backstory and stuff. And I do think the Brigitte character's a little bit like loud and kind of maybe a bit expressive and things like this, which is the rest of it's a little bit more. It honestly, the movie looks great. Everything's a bit dull. She brings a bit of like brightness and like a bit of like, energy to the proceedings, which maybe clashes a little bit with the rest of the film. But the setup is that they were going to go on a couple's hike. She then gets Willa Fitzgerald's character gets the go ahead to like do her mission. So she's like, what's the guy's name? Scott Eastwood's character. She's like, oops, I think you're just going to have to go on the hike. Oh, and then the other husband of her, Brigitte, hurts his leg. Oh, I think you're just going to have to go by yourself. Oh no, he'd already hurt his leg. She invited Brigitte on their hike. Scott Eastwood was like, I don't know about that. Like, he's not a people person. She then backs out and she's like, go on, it'll be good for you. So Scott Eastwood and Brigitte have gone on the hike. Then they discover there's a helicopter crash. She goes with him. He goes into agent mode and she's a bit like, what the fuck is happening? But she's very like trying to be friendly to him, maybe asking him what some would deem annoying, invasive questions. She's just being nice, he's being cagey. And then she's like panicking a bit because she's like, what the fuck is going on? Before she can even say another 2 words, when Mike Coulter's character comes in, she gets shot in the head. So,
and I think you spoke there explaining her character for longer than her character was on
screen.
Probably. Yeah, this nomination just really annoyed me.
Yeah, that's fair. There's not really even much to say more than that, really, is there?
Stallone, it's hard because most of my relationship with Stallone is Stallone as an old man, and this was very much an old man Stallone performance. And it's
nothing
sort of like,
new, really.
It's like, what did you expect? What do you expect? He just looks old and concerned and tired. And you know what? He probably is old and concerned and tired.
He does. He gives me the impression that like they want him to have a bit more physicality on the screen, but he just doesn't have that in him. No. So he just always looks really stiff and like he looks uncomfortable.
Yeah. I felt like they played into that in this film and used that.
More so than some of the other stuff we've seen, for sure.
But yeah, it is sort of go gal, give us nothing.
I just remember there being a bit about him like basically trying to like stick Scott Eastwood's character with like a poison, and then he does end up doing it. So it's all very like minimal movement, kind of.
Yeah.
They should have just, honestly, I feel like controversial, but they maybe should have got a body double in to do some of it.
Controversial.
Just because it's like you're trying to play an agent.
I wonder how hard it would be to find a body double for Stallone.
or just don't make him just don't write these characters for him anymore, and like do like match the role for the actual actor, like the whole Robert De Niro conversation we had on the last episode. It's like, stop trying to relive the heyday, or do the heyday in the genre, but let him as an actor age up into the roles. Be the age he actually is, because it just feels really stilted and like he's basically sitting down for half of it.
That's right. Most of my memory is him sat in an armchair.
Yeah, exactly. So I do understand, but at the same time, I'm like, at what point do we stop nominating him?
What did we expect?
Yeah.
That's kind of that for a
I don't really have much more to say on that, to be honest. If you didn't listen to our last episode, we go into a little bit more detail about the film itself, and the other I think it was just one. Was it one of them?
Yeah, it was Scott Eastwood.
So you go back and listen to that. Otherwise, we've got some other new films to discuss.
Well, we've still got Bride Hard, though. We'll always.
Bride Hard. Yeah, Bride Hard. So we've got two here.
Yeah, we've got Anna Chomsky is supporting actress. Who's the supporting actor? Do you have it up in front of you?
Stephen Dorff in Bride Hard.
Stephen Dorff. Yes. Stephen Dorff, in my opinion, isn't a very good actor. So, of course, he did give a very good performance.
He's like in all of these Razzie films, or like all of the W-rated films that we do. I think, again, actor for hire. He kind of does these low-budget action films. People like, obviously, like, he's getting work, so somebody likes him.
Maybe he's pleasant to work with.
Maybe he's a stand-up guy.
I don't think he's particularly the worst actor ever. He's just not particularly good, and then takes roles that don't ask anything from him because he doesn't have the range.
Couldn't agree. Couldn't add anything to that. That's exactly how I think.
Whereas Anna Chomsky is a good actress.
Right, so what else has she been in other than My Girl?
She was in Inventing Anna, the Netflix show.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
She was good in that. And she's been in lots of things. She's not the best actress in the world, but she's a good actress. She can do things. She has done things. Even as an adult, she's given good performances. This was hands down one of the worst performances I've ever seen in my fucking life. I was genuinely enraged by it.
Really? Because I just thought she was just playing a really annoying character.
No, it was like a complete rip-off and misunderstanding of what made Rose Byrne great in Bridesmaids.
Right, yeah, because they were basically doing that whole thing, weren't they?
And not everyone can be Rose Byrne, because Rose Byrne is fucking fabulous. But they didn't even understand the character. Yeah,
but you could argue that, yes, whilst it's called Bride Hard and they're doing a Die Hard Bridesmaids thing, they're not, maybe they're trying to do something different with it.
But the character is the annoying, pushy sister-in-law who steals the maid of honour spot.
So it's hard to separate. It's hard to separate it from.
And takes over the venue, and like literally, they've written the same character.
Yeah.
And then it's just like it's an awful script, which we spoke about a bit in our previous episode. Like it's very cringy, and the humour doesn't mix well with the action. But I just couldn't believe that she could deliver these lines with a straight face.
It is very silly. It's a very silly character.
Yeah, just made me really angry.
I did not react in that way. It was really like completely uneventful for me, to be honest. I felt like it was just one of those characters where it's like, okay, I see what you're trying to do. That's not my kind of humour. Fine. It adds another bit of texture to the cast of what we're kind of watching here. It's all, at least it's not all one note, because there's like, she's that kind of character, Divine Rudolph's a different kind of character, you know. But
do you know, that's what it is though. Even though they're all different characters, her performance was entirely one note. She didn't really change for the whole time.
Yeah.
Even like she's a bitch to everyone's face, even though she's meant to be being all like, oh, I really love you, sister-in-law. She's still an outright bitch to her. I don't know.
Is that not just the character?
It was a very badly written character.
Well, this is what I'm trying to say.
But I also think her performance was awful.
Fine. I can't.
This is one of those ones that, as I watched it, I was like, "This is deserved. This is deserved."
Interesting. I did not feel that at all. I felt nothing towards that one.
I was really angry about it.
Yeah, that's one that I don't see, but that's the joy of having two perspectives on the podcast. Stephen Dorff, I felt like what we just said about him is true, and perhaps lead villain in something like this is a little bit too high above his station to make a real impact.
He doesn't have the charisma.
doesn't have the Riz. No. And I think
Oh my god, I've only just realised that's what Riz means.
I mean, it took me a little while.
I know, but like I knew Riz meant charisma, but I didn't realise it
charisma.
came from
yeah,
charisma.
Yeah, don't worry, I didn't get it at first.
Yeah.
The kids, they're all right.
Right.
They're all right. They don't make stuff up completely out
So
of
I was
thin air.
like, where the fuck did that even come from?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. What I will say is probably helped by what's the guy's name that's in This Is Us as like
Justin Hartley.
Yes.
Justin Bentley. Justin something.
Yeah.
Justin something Lee.
So he plays someone who double crosses the family.
Yeah.
He's like
originally the love interest.
Family friend, positioned as love interest. I like the guy. I think he's very charming.
I thought he gave a bit of a one-note performance because he always does. Again, he's not someone that has a lot of range, but he knew what he was doing with this role and did it.
And I feel like he had a little bit of fun with it as well.
Yeah.
Especially in some of the fight scene with like Rebel Wilson, I do think I could tell that they were having fun there, whereas in the other scenes I feel like that was missing. I didn't feel like they were particularly having fun on a comedy film, so I think it helped that all of the focus wasn't on Stephen Dorff's character, and you've constantly got the kind of foil to him of being this what's the word, not prestigious, privileged guy who's like screwing over these family friends because he thinks that they dobbed his dad in when he wasn't a criminal. Even though they helped him and gave him everything he wanted as a rich kid, he still wants more and he's a rich, just very entitled kind of privilege, but I think a little bit like naive kind of character. I mean, he's not completely bad. I think he's just misled and got the whole thing wrong. But because it's always kind of like anything that the Stephen Dorff's villain does is very straight, and then it's kind of got that comic foil next to him of this guy trying to be a criminal when he's clearly not. So I think that helps the dynamic a little bit. I think if he didn't have that character, all eyes would be on him as the main villain, and it would have really like fallen flat, I think, because there wasn't really much to the character at all.
But I'm actually surprised for that reason that it did pick up a nom, because it doesn't feel like there's almost enough to nominate him. But then, as we've just said with Alarum, there wasn't enough to nominate that, so they just be nominating anyone. Yeah,
it's a really weird mix of people this year.
Is messy.
Usually we have a lot of repeats across the main films, but there seems to be quite a lot of random selections in here, which especially some of the other ones we'll get onto. So I'd love to see like the pros. You found a long list, didn't you?
Yeah, I found it in a random Reddit thread, which I'm now. So leave it with me. If I look like I'm ignoring you, I promise I'm not. Oh, I found it when I was looking up the nomination for The Strangers.
Right, because I also went to Reddit to figure out why the hell that was a nomination, which we will get to. It's just very by the numbers, this film, isn't it? Like,
it's just trash, and it's not fun trash, it's forgettable trash.
And I think I go back to my point on, like, I do think, oh God, I'm just going to have to look up his name now. Justin Hartley.
It was Hartley.
I at least feel like he's trying to have a bit of fun with it. He knows this is a bit like by the numbers cheesy, and he probably, as you say, he probably knows his range as well. He's not trying to. Whereas I feel like maybe Rebel Wilson could have taken a leaf out of his book a little bit, recognized her range, and worked within that to make this make it funnier by the fact that you're kind of not being serious, and that you're a bit of. I think the reason they cast her is because she's an unlikely actress to be a secret agent, so lean into that. But maybe she wanted to not be typecast, but if that's your strength, then don't abandon that completely. But I'm on a tangent because we're going back to the lead. So the segue I wanted to make was that I was surprised to see Stephen Dorff show up in another film that's been nominated, and he happens to be the lead in Gunslingers, which has got 2 supporting noms but no lead noms. I would argue that he probably had a higher chance of being nominated for Gunslingers, considering he was the lead. But now I think about it. Because at first I thought, oh, geez, he's so much worse in this. But I think it's just because that was actually a terribly made film.
Yes.
And that actually he wasn't the worst thing about it. It was just all bad all round.
Everything was bad.
It was one of the worst we've seen.
Yeah.
Like,
But
everything down to the colour grading, the CGI, the blood.
the costumes. The costumes are all from different eras.
Except we've got to give one shout out to one particular prop from costuming.
So, yes, I did try and find Nicolas Cage's fabulous glasses. And they were actually custom made for the film. And I was very devastated to learn that and confused because they looked like they came straight from Shein.
It's the only impressive thing about this film is that they had a budget for custom made glasses.
Well, I feel like Nicolas Cage probably did them himself.
Right, that makes sense. So Gunslingers is one of our classic Razzie films. It's everything you can imagine. Single location, forest drone shots.
We happened to be watching it you were on a 10-minute delay to me, which was really weird, and I felt really bad for you as I continued to watch it. It was all coming for you.
Well, I ended up just stopping it and continuing it the next day, to be honest.
Oh no, we committed to the whole night.
Because I kept
we ran out of alcohol and it was very stressful because we didn't really know how to keep going without alcohol.
Yeah, so I kept rewinding because I wasn't following it. I was like, I can't keep doing this all night. Because if I'm gonna watch these films, I'm gonna try and watch them properly. Otherwise, what is the fucking point? And I was a bit like, everything was. Do you know what? It suddenly occurred to me why it was quite hard for me to follow. Everything was a really tight close up or a two shot.
Yeah.
There was like no establishing shots again because it's really low budget, shot in one location. It realistically for the budget it's got, it probably wasn't that badly made. But when we're having people like Nicolas Cage, Nicolas Cage is a unique person to be included, but considering the caliber of some of the films he's been in,
he's a funny one because I really respect him in a similar way to what Nicole Kidman has said. They will go out of their way to work with new upcoming first time or just upcoming directors because they have the name, and if they don't do it, films don't get made.
Yeah.
And I really respect that they're willing to put their, what would you call it, like
caliber,
their reputation, on the line.
Oh right, yes.
Yeah, for potentially terrible movies, and but that's really worked out for Cage in films like Pig, which I know I always bring up just because I bloody love it. But this one,
how is that the same actor? How is that the same actor?
But I think I came up with this. I'm going to intersperse this conversation from this point on. I might have done a couple already with just his little zingers and his little wowzers and his little jiggles of his hands and all the he just says some of the most nonsensical shit in this movie I've ever heard. And I was just losing my mind. I was like, the voice.
Oh, the voice.
Sweet Mary Joseph. Not that.
She's not even exaggerating. No, that's exactly what he sounds like.
I can't.
6 feet under this mark in the graveyard.
I can't even do it. It hurts.
It's a death rattle.
Yeah, it's a death
rattle. As a voice.
And the costume, the mannerisms, but then I was like, he did it on purpose. It was a purposeful choice because everyone involved in this film knew how fucking bad it was and that no one would ever pay to watch this, ever. So they just didn't need Nicolas Cage's face on the poster. They're like, we need your performance to be so bad that people won't believe it's as bad as other people are saying, and they'll have to go and watch the movie to be proven right. It's like when politicians purposely fuck up their hair or wear an ugly outfit to detract from the terrible murdering, whatever, blowing people up things they're doing, because then the news are like, oh, Theresa May wore a really ugly outfit and her shoes don't match. And it's like, pretty sure she just said she's defunding disability and all this. This is the movie equivalent.
Right.
Nicolas Cage was like, this film is so bad, the only thing can improve it.
But why
is if I'm so
it
awful.
If it's so bad? I don't understand.
Tax.
But what does that even mean? How does that
I
work?
don't know. I don't really understand tax. But tax write-off.
You got that right, Doc. Sweet Jesus. Praise the Lord. Ow!
Owed someone money, had to deliver on something.
Yeah. It reeks of doing someone a favour.
Yeah, the whole thing reeks of doing something
I
favour.
really need to, I would love to just eventually do like a deep dive on these kinds of films of like how they get made, why they get made, how they get big stars attached to them, how they get distributed. That's the other thing. You can make all of that stuff. People choose to make it available to people and pay for the pleasure.
Yeah.
It's like, it was bad. And also, might I add, we haven't actually, I mean, we've discussed Nicolas Cage's performance a little bit, but honestly, I think that Heather Graham deserved a big fat nomination for this as well.
Oh, whereas I said poor Heather Graham.
She was awful.
I felt like she was doing her best with just appalling work.
No, she couldn't act in her face, so it wasn't.
There was a lot of work done there, wasn't there? She used to be.
Yeah, and that wasn't even what I meant, to be fair.
Yeah.
I was just watching her reactions when she was meant to be
talking
to Stephen. Yeah, so maybe that's the limitations, but it was very, and I'm sorry for the audio only listeners, but it was just very like. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
Just like
I do.
I don't know how to describe it. Let's AD this audio describe. It's just like
aghast eyes with no emotion.
Yeah, thank you. I was really annoyed with her performance. I thought everything about it was awful. I think she deserved a nomination. At least Nicolas Cage At least Nicolas Cage was doing something strange and interesting to watch.
Jesus fucking Christ!
She couldn't even do the most basic stuff.
But realistically, I think our worst actress of the year is here. And I feel bad because she's very beautiful.
Yes.
Her name is Scarlett Rose Stallone. And I've never seen a more obvious case of iPhone face.
Yes.
That
and
is
voice.
A woman.
She had the vocal fry that did not exist in the Western world, the Western time frame.
She is a lady who exists in the 2000s, in the late 2010s and 2020s.
Yeah.
She cannot just... Sir! Oh, come here.
Your cat disagrees.
Hello. Yeah, she... Wow. She can't act. I'm sorry. There's
she was just
no other way.
Her.
There's just no other way of saying it. Like, it's a god-awful performance. It's one of the worst performances that's been put to screen in a number of years. I'm sorry. Like, you know, sometimes you can be polite and say it was a bad script, it was bad. Like, this girl cannot act. And
she was just reading the lines.
It was a disservice to her to allow her to be in this.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's not going to serve her well to have allowed her to do.
It's like, did you ever have one of those friends who really thought they could sing? And they weren't that good a singer, but their parents really hyped them up, and you're like, why are you hyping this up?
It's not even like they're bad, it's just they can't. Does that make sense? It's like you're not physically, it's like, it's not that they were bad and trying really hard, it's that they weren't even singing really.
Yeah, like you just don't got this. You don't got this. So
I feel bad for her because people have encouraged her and told her she can do this.
Yeah.
And she completely looks like she has been plopped in there from the future. Even the outfit she was wearing and the curls and her hair. It looks like
it came from Party City. Oh my god, her hair is so beautiful in this film. Her hair is stunning. I've never had hair look that good in my life. And she's meant to be under attack in a western town and not slept for 2 days.
Yeah. It's just silly.
It was very silly. Yeah, this was one of those films that I hope people don't experience. And it's kind of hard to talk about it because of how bad it was.
Yeah.
So I just hope that you are enjoying however many Nicolas Cage-isms I've thrown into this. I look forward to eventually linking to the eventual Nicolas Cage podcasts that we're friends with. There's a few of them out there.
Yeah.
Petros and Daryl and whoever else. There's a number of Nicolas Cage podcasts. I look forward to them all suffering this too.
Yeah, because this was bad. This is what I mean. I don't understand how this was made, how this distributed. Clearly favors being had, tax write-offs, whatever you name it. This was a badly made film.
And if enough people saw it to nominate it for the Razzies, why the fuck didn't it get a Worst Picture nomination?
Yeah. But yeah, Nicolas Cage is doing all kinds of weird shit, so it's actually like quite funny to watch his stuff, but he's not.
But it's not good enough. It gets annoying. It goes from being what the fuck to funny to annoying to can we just make this end? Can we just leave?
Because it's like, it's weird. It's like that character could work, maybe not the voice, but the character could work in a completely different thing. But because they're all trying really hard, even though the film is shit, it's just like this weird thing that keeps happening. And we're like, oh, Nicolas Cage is still here.
Cause I shouldn't drink too much if I aim to get into heaven, but if that's going around, I'll take a sniff.
But that was the thing as well. Based when it started and I was seeing, the caliber, I was like, oh, he's going to be in this film for like 5 minutes, and this is going to be another one of those, like, why is he nominated? He's only in the film for 5 minutes, but he's in the whole film. Like, he's in the whole film. I was like, oh, you committed here.
And everyone, like, doesn't question, like, the voice or anything, and that's fine, because it's like, clearly it's an eccentric character, but I find it funny that they're all trying to take this really seriously as this really, like, well-made film. And, like, fair, if you're doing a job, take it seriously. But I think it would almost have been better if they had a bit of fun with it and it wasn't so straight.
Yeah. I think that's the worst thing, though, because I do think there were a couple of attempts at comedy that just didn't hit. But there was a cutscene. There was a cutscene in the credits. A humorous cutscene.
Oh, yeah, what happened in that?
They, like, go and find the guy that ran away and, like, beat him up or something.
Oh, God, yeah, that went on for too long, though.
Yeah.
Too long.
Do you think, between takes, that Nicolas Cage just went back to his normal voice and was, like, really polite and charming?
I'm in two camps. Part of me feels like he went method.
Like, cut, that's lunch, and he's here in the queue to get a salad, and they're like, hi Nick, like, really lovely to meet you. Thanks!
Yeah.
What do you do with that?
Really interesting choice that you've made there. Any chance we could maybe do a take with a different? And he's like, no, I'm committed to this character now. I can't do the voice.
I feel like it senses his pain. I'm just going high pitched. I'm not going raspy enough.
No, he's like, I can't do it. And listen, it at least kept me a bit entertained.
No, it was painful, and even I'm struggling to talk about it. It's
because I don't think there's much more to be said, to be honest.
A
lot of these nominations aren't particularly complex or nuanced.
The acting noms really took it out of me this year. Like, I really struggled with them. I really enjoyed the Worst Picture noms for the most part, and like screenplay stuff. Obviously, a lot of them were the same films. I really, really struggled with these ones.
So we've got 2 left that we haven't already covered.
All right.
Why don't we go to another classic Channel 5 style film?
And the last film that I watched?
Off the Grid. Yeah, this is
fresh. Off the Razzie grid.
Yeah. So Greg Kinnear got a nomination for this.
I felt unfair.
Yeah, I don't. He was actually like all right.
He's Greg Kinnear. He's doing Greg Kinnear. He's doing like, maybe that is a fault, that maybe Greg Kinnear should have more range. But as we're discovering, a lot of actors don't have.
I feel range. Like people thought that maybe the guy that was trying to do a whole like No Country for Old Men impression was Greg Kinnear.
Severus Snape.
Snape as the guy from No Country for Old Men.
I meant to look.
He loved his hair. The amount of times he tucked his hair behind his ears, I was like, yes.
Do we know his name?
I think he's Ricky Russert. Let me just double check.
He looks completely different in his picture on Letterboxd.
He really does.
But I think you might be right. I think that is him.
In which case, he looks totally different with a moustache. That's what it is.
Was his style in this movie a stylistic choice? I thought it was he's a weird dude and that's just how he looks, but he looks fine on his normal picture, which means that someone in Off the Grid decided that's what he should look like.
He should have kept the moustache, man. He also looks like a different ethnicity.
Yeah. baffling.
Which is really weird.
Even,
did
it was an awful performance, and it was a weird style, characterization and a weird stylization, and I assumed that guy was just a weird dude.
I just assumed that was the nomination, because it was just he's doing something really weird. And look, I'd rather someone try something and then just be sometimes to help me be interested in something, especially with these kinds of films. But and so I was I kind of like what he's going for, but then other times I was deeply uncomfortable. But he's not even the one that's nominated.
No, but it made no sense within the film. Yeah, I thought Greg Kinnear was totally fine.
Yeah,
he was an angry guy who didn't want to be there and hates the wilderness.
I have no idea what was worthy of a Razzie nomination for his performance. No, not even a clue.
If I ever find the long list, I'll let you know, and we can.
Genuinely, I was watching it, being I think they've thought he's Greg Kinnear, this other guy.
So what we'll get to when we do our last one of The Strangers, which when I was researching that, when I found this long list, which I will try and find, and we'll talk about it in our wrap up episode if I do find it, is that the long list. A lot of these films that we're seeing in the acting category were also in the other categories, and then they got completely wiped out by the big five that got nominated for almost everything. And so these weird supporting noms where someone's in the film for 5 minutes are just weird little left hangovers of where the entire film was originally nominated.
Yeah.
But that film didn't get nominated, and for whatever reason, the films that didn't have nominations in these categories, and so they're just weird hangovers that would make sense if the other nominations existed, but these have just been forgotten about.
Yep, totally. I just really, really don't understand why Greg Kinnear got astray here when you've got Ricky Russett's performance.
Yeah,
which
it was so weird.
It was very weird, but the character was weird, so I'm not 100% in the campaign.
He was in a different movie. He was in a different movie. But Greg Kinnear felt like he was in this movie. He felt like he was elevating the movie, if anything.
True. Yeah, I actually thought because these are both supporting, right? Josh Hamill's is the lead.
Yeah.
When it's him and he's on his own, or arguably it goes a little downhill quality wise when he's in the town. I like the woman.
Yeah, I liked her.
Yeah, I thought she was good. She brought a different kind of energy. But I just don't think that the tone quite matched. I felt like it's the production value when it was Josh Hamill was higher. Whenever it cut out, and then we've got, because the other thing is as well, the main villain is also someone that's in Fargo and stuff. He's in quite a lot. He wasn't great.
He's just in a skyscraper room being
that was
weird.
A bad
he looks like he was CGI'd in.
Yeah, that was really weird, because the production value of what the main stuff, the the Unit A stuff looked like a certain caliber, and then the Unit B was it was directed completely by someone else, or last minute chopped in. It felt like two different films. And then the weird thing happened where Ricky Russett started in the B plot, and there was weird choices with cuts, and I just didn't feel like they got very good performances and takes. And then it's then he gets plopped into the main production, the lead unit, and then it becomes that film, and it's I get what they were trying to go for. I do understand the kind of weirdo, he's hunting someone down. He's the guy in black for the villain.
Having him dressed up as Severus Snape just feels really weird.
Yeah, I think they were trying to go for something,
and I didn't hit it.
But it he made me uncomfortable, and I don't know if that's probably the purpose, but it made me uncomfortable in a way that I didn't like, as opposed to was purposeful. And I genuinely am so confused, because that nomination would have made sense to me. The other guy, the Peter Stormare, he would have made sense to me in this, because he's a decent actor. He wasn't good in this. But Greg Kinnear, I'm sorry, mate, you don't deserve this at all.
No. We'll watch Little Miss Sunshine to apologise for you.
So our last one is also
the least undeserved.
Very, very, very strange nomination, and I can't believe this meant I had to watch both of these films. purely for this. And maybe that's why it pissed me off.
I think
Because
Well,
having to watch two of those films for this character, spoilers, Strangers Chapter 2, spoilers.
Yeah.
For this character to die and me to go, have I seriously just watched these two films?
Yeah.
For that to be nominated.
But the thing being as well, so it's Emma Horvath?
Yes.
Yes. So I did not watch Strangers Chapter 1, but my partner did, and then we watched Chapter 2 together with his dad because we were staying with his family last week. We actually really enjoyed it because we had a really fun communal experience of watching Chapter 2, in which my partner was kind of filling us in on what happened in the first one. His dad was getting annoyed at how cheap it was, and I was getting confused about what was going on. But, like, there's a great scene in the morgue, and we're all like, climb in with the bodies! Climb in with the bodies! And we all just had this great experience as a communal group of, like, drinking whiskey and yelling at the screen, as horror movies were intended to be shared in that way. So whilst we all agreed it wasn't an amazing film, we all had a fun time watching it. My partner said he felt like it was a significant step up in tone and value to the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I said I'd be quite interested now in giving the third one a go based on what they've set up at the end of the second.
I have to see the third one now.
Yeah. But this nomination, and I would take, so in the long list that I found that I will find again, Madeleine Pesch was nominated for Worst Actress. The film was nominated for Worst Film, for Worst Screenplay. It was nominated in Remake, Rip-Off, Sequel. But those noms, when it got to the shortlist, got washed away.
Which I'm surprised, because there's, like, when I look at letterbox reviews for this, people hate
People don't like, people aren't fans. But poor Emma Horvath just took a straight
happened to
here.
slip in there.
Because she is in the first 30 seconds of the film. And then she's in the last 30 seconds of the film as her character, is it Shelley or something like that? The rest of the film, spoilers, she plays Pin-Up Girl, one of the murderers who runs around in a mask. I don't even know if it is her. I have to assume it is her in the mask, because I know with, like, Scream and Halloween and stuff, it was always just, like, a tall guy who plays the actual spooky person.
I feel like they I mean, let me look on IMDb, because I think they would still have to credit her as that character, because technically that character is that character. But they might have someone else also credited if that is the case.
But so she plays but Pin-Up Girl's only job for this entire movie is to stand awkwardly wearing a creepy mask and intimidate and occasionally try and murder someone.
So there's Dollface double, Scarecrow double.
So she would have had a double.
Well, it doesn't, but then it's not on the list. Hold on.
But even if she did, or she did.
Oh no, she did. She must have done it because it's only her or young Pin-Up Girl. So she actually did do the physical stuff.
Good for her. But, like, what are we saying was bad? She wore the mask. She stood intimidatingly. She tried to stab the girl. Like, what's bad?
It was so
about
uneventful. That? I was seething that I'd had to watch these films.
Yeah, we kept waiting for her to do something awful.
Weird.
I was like, she wore a mask.
Yeah, I was bewildered with this nomination. The only thing I can think is that actually it was a slight on the character and the characterization, because this is a lot of the problem of what I had with these films, is that I'm assuming you haven't seen the original Strangers because it's a home invasion film.
I haven't.
So the whole thing around the Strangers is, and this is like a reboot, right? So these are back-to-back trilogies released each year because they were filmed all at the same time. It's a reimagining, a reboot of the Strangers, which the whole essence of the horror with the Strangers, and I don't think that the original Strangers is very highly rated generally, but for those that love it do appreciate the horror elements of it, and it's very iconic in sort of like its home invasion and the essence of what it is that these are called the Strangers. We do not know who they are, and they have no motive for picking the people that they murder. This basically undoes all of that, this trilogy, and tries to make them people with motives.
But isn't it still their motive that they just don't like strangers?
the motive for the strangers isn't that they don't like strangers.
Right, okay. Because I always thought the motive... That's what I got from watching the second
So
film.
you're saying that actually Madeline Pesh is the stranger?
Yes.
Yeah,
that
no, that's
whenever,
not.
Okay, yeah, so the idea that I was getting is that whenever strangers come to town...
Yeah, so that's
they
what
murder them.
That's what they're clearly setting up for the third one.
Which is why people were anxious about didn't want to help them, because they're like, well, if we help you, they'll kill us.
Yeah. Because it's all like set up that way.
Yeah.
That's my first issue with it, is that in the original, as much as I can remember, because it's been a while since I've watched it, is that it's their home. They live there. The strangers are the people. The strangers are the ones in the masks.
Like Funny Games.
Yes.
Yeah.
But not as like
depraved.
Not as depraved, but it is meant to be like kind of. That's the other thing as well. Remember the word brutal and triggered that with me. If I forget, as far as I can remember, Liv Tyler lives in that house with her husband. It is a classic home invasion. It's classic for all the right reasons. In that it is a classic home invasion that these strangers with the masks come in.
Is this so? I always thought the line was from Funny Games, was it from the strangers of "Why us? Because you were home."
Yeah,
I always thought that was from Funny Games.
I'm pretty sure, but now
It's
I'm
from the
doubting
strangers.
myself.
I think they're quite similar films in terms of tone and idea and stuff. But then you're
it is
right.
the strangers because you were home.
I always thought that was Funny Games. That makes more sense then, because I can see why this is a complete flip on that, which
it's
I'm
flipping
enjoying.
it completely.
But
like okay, fair enough. Like I don't want people to like I love art and I want people to bring their visions to life. Doesn't mean I have to like it. Right?
Yeah.
A lot of people's issues with these films, and I have to agree, is that they've completely
misinterpreted,
flipped the they're no longer the strangers. So if you were going to do this, just do another film. But obviously in Hollywood at this stage, you can't do anything original. It has to be an IP. So they've taken the masks, flipped the idea of what the strangers are. But to me, that's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
So that's without going on and on about it, that's the main issue I had with it, is that they are not the strangers anymore, because pretty much the first scene in the first film, we meet these people in the diner that are clearly involved.
Yeah.
So they're no longer strange. The whole thing about why it's so scary is because you don't know whose face is behind that mask, and it's what you don't know is like, it drives you mad, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, who are these people? Even if we saw their face, we still don't know them. At least we see their face. It's a human connection thing. The reason it's so scary is because you cannot see the human face behind it. They are monsters, right? And then the whole thing, why us? Because you were home, is like, oh my God, I can't even connect with them on a human psychology level because there is no human motive here. It is just pure monster behavior. They completely undo that within the first 5 minutes of the first film here. I immediately knew, and also it doesn't help that we were watching it for the Shelley character. I knew she was pin-up girl. As soon as I watched the first one, I'm thinking that's her. But at the same time, the film makes it obvious.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so obvious.
So I think I think they're playing the long game, and I think in 3 it's going to be revealed that they all do it, and they all take turns, or there's some kind of history. And cool, but that's not strangers. That's something else. Do something else. Do other masks. It doesn't need to be called the strangers. I genuinely think I would have enjoyed this so much more if they didn't have the strangers name attached to it, because it's not what I was anticipating.
I have no relationship to that franchise, so
I barely do either. It's just a case of like annoyance that you're using a name to sell tickets and then not selling what people recognize with that IP.
It's Wuthering Heights all over again.
So my other issue was that, and this is completely opposite for you, is that I watched the first film, and again, I think this probably is a like, for lack of a word, a copy from the original around how many like murders or home invasions there are. I think they focused on home invasions in the first one in terms of like saying how many there were each year, blah blah blah. This one's like just stranger homicides. This is the most brutal one. 2 people get stabbed, 1 person dies. That's not brutal. Like, it is in real life.
Well, that was sort of my thing as well, though, with the second one, which is the one that I watched. In that, I got the impression that like the whole town know it goes on, but they don't partake. It's only the 3 that actually partake. And my conspiracy for the third film is that, because this sets it up that Shelley is crazy as a little girl and murdered people as a little girl, and her and the other guy like just love murdering people. So my conspiracy for the third film is that the town know they do it, but they allow them to do it, and they're allowed to kill strangers passing through the town, because otherwise they'll start killing the townsfolk, and they don't want them killing the townsfolk. So it's like, right, cool, kill the fucking weird strangers. But in the second one, they kill like 8 or 9 people to try and get to this one girl. And it's like, oh, if all the town are helping you, you're killing an awful lot of the townsfolk.
And this also is like the whole motive thing, right?
Yeah.
The original strangers said, because you were home. It's just happenstance. They don't care it's you. It could be anyone. And that's terrifying. And that's what they tried to do with the whole strangers thing, is stranger homicides. It could be you, because there's no motive for why it is you specifically. That's the scary thing. But the whole chapter 2 is specifically focusing on finding a reason.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's another one of my issues. This might be the last one, unless I can think of some more. These are kind of two-part, kind of goes into the same thing. They've set out to make a trilogy. I like what they're kind of doing and sort of changing up the different kind of slasher. So first one was very one location. Second one is chase.
I would say, just a quick side note, my favourite genre of horror sequels are when they pick up straight after the first one in a hospital. I do, that just makes my heart happy.
Because that person would with a nervous system so wrought would probably just flat out die and have a heart attack after that much sustained stress.
But I hate when it's like a year later and it's like the horror, the murderer wouldn't wait a year. The murderer wouldn't be like, anniversary time to get a killing.
Except that is literally every horror film.
But that's why I love horror sequels that take place literally in the hospital, because that is exactly what would happen. They don't want to let you go. So that just made me happy. But sorry, I interrupted.
No. That's it. It's a good point. It's a good point. I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, okay. So they've set this up to be a trilogy. I am going to watch the third one because I'm interested to see
changing up the type of slasher it was.
Yeah, kind of like so. The first one is very much focused on the main house, and don't get me wrong, there were parts that I did really like about it. And the same with the second one. I think I just begrudge the IP thing. And the fact that they've stretched this out to 3 films, I think is really to its own detriment, because I think they're trying to be really clever and they're kind of tripping themselves up a little bit. Because the second one, for example, you never see that it's Shelley in the first one. In the opening scene of the second film, it is revealed that she was the one knocking on the door saying, is Tamara there or Tamara there? Okay, well, we pretty much put that together, but now you're showing it to us. Why? Interesting, ... Oh no, it feels like a reveal. Okay, ooh, interesting, they're revealing it. Why are they revealing it so soon? What's going to happen here? No, they do a second reveal at the end of the film, as if you didn't already know that it was her.
I did think that. I was like, we all know that's her, right?
So I'm like, are you trying to be clever?
I think it was,
but
maybe
it's
the
not
reveal
working.
To her. Was she there? Was Madeleine Pesch there?
No, she couldn't see the face.
Oh, well then, it wasn't her.
Or she could, but they didn't make it clear with the... Even so, who cares? We're supposed to be in the protagonist's position. So if it's revealed to us, it needs to be a reason why it's revealed to the audience and not the protagonist. If you're just going to reveal it to the protagonist later on anyway, what was the point?
Yeah, that's very true.
And I think it would have just made so much sense if they'd had kept the backstory flashbacks, but we didn't know who the girl was, but we knew it was Pin-Up, and then it turns out Shelley. But then why do I give a fuck anyway? I don't care. Like, we don't know anything about that character. And also, really weird in the beginning of chapter 2, it intersplices scenes of her in between all of the production logos, and that I felt really weirded out by that. It felt really off. It didn't work. I think they're trying to do like cool, quirky things, but it's not working. And then you have the whole backstory of the fact that she's been murdering since she was little. That's who Tamara was. And it's just like, the whole point is that we don't know who the strangers are. They're the strangers.
Well, I feel like I'll need to warn you. I think we're going to find out who they are in chapter 3.
If we don't already know. So then there's the whole, like, is it a red herring or is it a double bluff with the guy that's in the night agent?
Is there a stranger behind you?
Don't say
Is
that.
thought?
Oh, it's... Oh, it really scared me then.
Sorry. I was like, can you not see that your door has opened?
No, I couldn't because I was on a tirade about the strangers. And now you've said there's a murderer behind me.
My cats are beating the shit out of each other outside this door as you were talking about people breaking into people's homes. That's why I had to open the door.
I'm actually kind of glad that Stephen's here now.
Sorry.
What was the last thing I was going to say? The guy from the night agent.
Yes, I like him as an actor.
I like him, but I was sick of seeing close-up shots of his face while it was going. And it was all
PTSD,
like
Daisy.
it was all like out of focus.
It's PTSD.
And it was all like throbbing, like, because he must be the villain because he's so odd and sketchy. And it's just like, okay, we get it. Either it's a red herring or it's not. But the more you do it, the more annoying it is because you're not revealing whether either lean into it being. I'm trying to explain myself and I can't quite get the words out. It's like you need to have it be a mystery of you thinking, could it be? Maybe not. But they lean into it so hard. They're like, I'm like, okay, well, maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Move on.
Yeah.
I got a bit sick of it. And I think it's the problem of it being a second in a trilogy. In that I think they tried to like pad it out too much with when he was standing in the room talking to her and it was all threatening. It's like, I got
It
stressed.
did feel like it was sort of not going anywhere and then it suddenly ended.
Yeah, so like it did make me feel tense and stressed, which is part of what it's supposed to be. I was just annoyed that the way it was making me tense and stressed. I felt like it was a cheap way of making me tense and stressed. And then he drives off and the strangers appear. And also the strangers are just like teleporting everywhere. They don't make any sound. Apparently they're superhuman. I really didn't like these films.
So you don't want to come over and watch the third one together?
Yeah. I have to watch it with you because you're right. They would be so much more enjoyable watching.
We were genuinely annoyed that we watched this about a week after the third one left the cinema because I actually probably would have gone and seen the third one in the cinema.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
But yeah,
I have to see it now because I have to find out what they're leading to.
Well, you could come over and sit with the cats and sneeze and watch it.
I might sign up to be a Razzie member just to nominate it for next time. So yeah, so I'm glad we finally got to the point where I could have my tirade about strangers.
Thinking of all of that, and let me get our list back up. For our worst supporting actor of the year, we had all 7 artificial dwarfs in Snow White, Nicolas Cage in Gunslingers, Stephen Dorff in Bridehard, Greg Kinnear in Off the Grid, and Sylvester Stallone in Alarum.
I'm just looking back at this category, I'm like, this is so random. It's gonna have to be Nicolas Cage.
It can't be anyone else.
There's fire in Hail Mary.
It can't be anyone else. Like,
It can't.
Nick, I appreciate what you're doing. You're quirky. We all love you for that. Doesn't mean it's good. The voice. Oh man, it was so annoying.
Jesus Christ!
It was just so stupid. It was so stupid.
Yeah, I really recommend if you are going to watch that, drink a lot. Alright, in Worst Supporting Actress, we have Anna Chlumsky in Bridehard, Emma Horvath in The Strangers Chapter 2, Casey Rowe in Star Trek Section 31, Scarlett Rose Stallone in Gunslingers, and Isis Valverde as Brigitte in Alarum.
We didn't even touch on Casey Rowe. Obviously, we've spoken about her.
We did that in Star Trek, yeah.
But just to flag, if you did want to hear about her performance, go back to that episode. It's got to be Scarlett Rose.
I'm really tempted to give it to Anna Chlumsky.
I don't understand.
Because
but fine.
Scarlett Rose Stallone cannot act. Therefore, bad actress.
Yeah.
Anna Chlumsky can act, give bad performance, therefore deserve bad award.
Fine. I think we can split the vote there, to be fair.
I mean, Scarlett Rose Stallone deserves it too.
I mean, I would rather give it to Heather Graham, even, but because again, I've seen that she can act, and that what she's doing with her face is not acting.
Yeah. And that's how we feel. But the only other thing to discuss before we wrap it up and wait for the announcements is, do you have any suggestions for the Razzie Redeemer Award.
Oh yeah, okay.
I have
God.
nothing this year. I couldn't think of anything.
I wish you'd told me earlier. I could have prepared.
Sorry.
Is there
But
a
yeah,
way
the
to
Razzie
see...
Redeemer is normally for people who have previously nominated or won Razzies. So last year, Pamela Anderson won it for The Last Showgirl.
Oh, yeah.
But also nominated were Demi Moore and Megan Fox. I didn't realise Megan Fox got a nom for that.
What?
Subservience. So we'll have to look up what that is.
Oh, that's like an AI robot thing.
Oh.
Where she plays like a hot sex doll kind of.
Oh, in 2023 it was Fran Drescher for her work in the Actors Guild strike. In 2022 it was Colin Farrell for
I knew Colin
Banshees of
Farrell.
Inisherin, and in 2021 it was Will Smith for King Richard.
See, I can't think off the top of my head who would have been nominated for Razzies, but I'm just having a flick through.
Yeah.
Just to see if there's anyone that would come to
big Oscar films this year. Anyone in one battle after another, like Leonardo DiCaprio?
Oh, Sean Penn.
Yeah, he's probably been nominated for some Razzies, I guess.
It'll probably be him.
He has only ever received one, which was for Shanghai Surprise in 1986.
I don't think it particularly matters like how many or what they've got it before. I think it's just if they've previously got something. So.
It was just though that was really early in his career. That was in like the early 80s, so they might not.
Yeah, but like also there's the whole thing of like he's not a nice person.
Yeah.
But now he's getting a lot of like love for that film. Yeah. So he has been redeemed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
For his personal slights through his career achievements. So
But yeah, well, this has been mildly painful.
As it always is. But we continue to do it to ourselves. But we do actually have plans set in place with guests for upcoming episodes of the regularly scheduled, not so regularly scheduled episodes of W Rated. We'll actually look back at the bottom 100, which has changed. It's changed.
Yeah. So as of now, I think we've only done like 13 or 14 films actually on the list now,
which is crazy. It's crazy when you think about it.
Because the films keep falling off.
Yeah. So we'll be back with a wrap up for the Razzies, and then you will see us again before next year.
It's about 27 films, so we're a quarter of the way. We might be a quarter of the way because there's a couple that I've actually seen that we've not covered yet, but I think it's about 25 or 27. So we're a quarter.
We're doing all right. We're doing all right, considering like our actual like we've been on hiatus of the main episodes for like 2 years. So, but we'll be back. We'll be back. So tune in for the next episode just to hear a little wrap up of the Razzies, to hear who won. If you are interested, go back and check out some of our other episodes that we've covered, where we talk about some of these acting nominations as well, if we haven't covered it in this one already. Otherwise, that about does it for our road to Razzies until the announcement itself. So thank you for joining us on this tumultuous trip. And give us some love after this masochistic journey that we've been on. All right.